everybody, how's it going? My name is Storytelling Blair, and I'm here to give you guys a storytelling review. So, as you know, Justice League's about to come out. Can't wait. And since it's about to come out, as you can imagine, a lot of YouTube channels are showing what they recommend for stories that you should read, get caught up on, or introduce to the Justice League. Some of those stories would, probably be New 52 Justice League, Rebirth Justice League, or even Pre-52 stuff. And, all of those are great, valid options. I definitely think the New 52 one is the most relevant. Anyway, I'm here and I wanted to share with you guys a Justice League story that you guys might not know about. And I learned about it recently, and you know what? I just wanted to share it with you guys. And that story is Justice League of America Sanctuary, written by Alan Burnett and Dwayne McDuffie. Hope I said those names right. This is a story that I don't think a lot of people really know about, but I'm going to kind of give you guys the pitch, see if you guys would be interested in it, and I'll give you guys my opinion of it. Now, before we actually get into this, if you really want to know what my recommendation is for, Justice League, two books come to mind immediately. Number one is Justice League New 52 Origins. That's Volume 1. The reason why, not because I love it so much or anything like that, it's not that. It's because it's super close to the movie. It's about the Justice League getting together for the first time. It's about all of them being at odds with each other. Superman's a little brooding, which fits. And it's about Darkseid invading for the first time and being stopped by the Justice League. Sound familiar? It's, the movie's basically kind of following that skeleton, which isn't a bad thing. It's pretty good, so it was a good introduction for the New 52. So, that's the one I would recommend if you just want to read a fast, quick, easy story and get an idea of what the movie's probably going to be about. Another one, and this is my highest recommendation, New Frontier by Darwin Cook. It is amazing. If you haven't read it, please read it. I'm going to do a review for it one day. I didn't want to do it for Justice League movie though, because number one, it was going to be rushed, and I'd really like to, kind of spend some time researching it, and I would really like to put my best foot forward with you guys when it comes to talking about that story, because that story is phenomenal. Now, of course, we're not here to talk about New Frontier or Justice League Origins. We're here to talk about the JLA Santuary. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, just as a heads up, I'm just going to go into the pitch of the story. I'm not going to spoil too much, and realistically, I don't think there's much to spoil in this story. So don't worry if, you're worried about me giving the whole story away, but I'm just going to kind of pitch you what it's about, so you'll have an idea going into it. So the story's pretty interesting. The Suicide Squad, led by Amanda Waller, is hunting down all of the supervillains in the DC universe and sending them to one planet to just leave them there to potentially rot and die, to never be heard from again, and just to disappear. Sounds like a cool idea, especially when you take in consideration that some of the villains in this story actually run to the Justice League for protection. The Justice League get wind of this, and quickly, that's where the conflict begins. The Justice League says this isn't right, while Amanda Waller's just like, well, they're out of our hair, so what's the problem? So, quickly, I was really intrigued with this story. I thought that was a really cool idea, and I think it would be a fun way to have a, Justice League versus Suicide Squad story, rather than what we got. But my problem is, that's all we get. That pitch right there, that's basically it. And we're left to just wait for Final Crisis or whatever that comes after this. So, if you were expecting an actual ending to this, story, you're not getting it. An answer to a question, it's not going to happen. What you do get is a lot of filler issues as well about some lesser characters. For instance, Roy Harper, Red Arrow, Vixen, and then Red Tornado, and then, surprisingly, Wally West. Now, spoiler alert for Crisis on Infinite Earths, this is the time period where Wally is the Flash, not Barry, because Barry's in the Speed Force. So, you actually get a good glimpse at what Wally was like as the Flash. And in all honesty, it's my favorite part of this entire book, actually. He's not a part of the Justice League at this time because he's trying to focus on his relationship with Linda, and it's just great. I think this is just the best interpretation of Wally, in my opinion, because in every other iteration, he's just kind of lesser to Barry, But in this, he really is his own character, and he's really independent. So that was one thing I really did enjoy from the story. Now, before jumping into more of the characters, I have to say this. If you recognize the name Dwayne McDuffie, it's because he has worked on stuff like Justice League Unlimited. He worked on the cartoon. So, knowing that, and then reading the story, you can really see a lot of elements of the TV show in here. Especially the fact that, Hawk Girl and Jon Stewart are a part of the Justice League. It all starts to make sense, including Wally. So, and having said that, you really could put this into the TV show. This easily could have been a story that would have happened in that universe. Easily. And for anybody who's a big fan of the cartoon, you could jump into this really fast because guess what? All of the relationships are just the same as they were in the show. Every one of them. Maybe the only one that's a little different is Wonder Woman and Batman because I don't think they're together in this. They could be. I'm not sure. But aside from that, that's something that's really cool. So McDuffie clearly understands these characters and how to use them. And like I said, he has some one-off issues. For the 3 issues that we get of actual story narrative about the Suicide Squad and yada 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 yada, we also get 3 other issues about lesser characters. Like I said, Vixen, Speedy, and etc. And that's kind of my problem with this story, is as you can see, it is very short. It is not a long story. And for 3 issues, and it's 6 issues altogether, and 3 of them are actually about the plot, and the other 3 are just kind of random stuff. You feel like you're getting one half of a story. So, that's kind of my problem with this. Honestly, though, the story itself is a great pitch. I like that idea. That Amanda Waller and the government decided, you know what, these supervillains are too dangerous. We're going to send them to a predator's planet. I wonder if Adrian Brody's there. And we're going to send them there, and they're not going to be our problem anymore. And the Justice League's just like, well, that's inhumane, and that's wrong. We should not do that. And that's what the story's kind of about. And I honestly like that pitch. That sounds like a good reason why the Justice League and the Suicide Squad would be at odds. So, I think that's really cool. Another thing I think is really cool is all the characters act like themselves. Hal Jordan even makes an appearance. And one of my favorite parts of the issue, aside from the Wally West issue, was Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all have a meeting about the events that had just transpired. And you can actually see the friendship. They're actually not just talking about business, but they're talking about their own personal lives. And if there was a reason why I was recommending this book for you guys, it's really 2 things. Number one, it's if you're a fan of Justice League Unlimited, then it's easy for you to jump into this. If you've never really read comic books or have always been interested but just don't know where to start, I wouldn't say this is a good start, but this is a good familiar territory. This is going to feel right to you because you already know the relationships, yada, 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 yada. So then this is going to, if you jump into New 52, you might just be like, well, why is Green Lantern so inexperienced? Why is Superman so angsty? Why is Wonder Woman just talking like a warrior? This is way closer to the animated series. Now, and another reason is because you get to actually understand a lot of the characters way better. You get to understand what motivates a lot of them and get to see their relationships throughout, which is really nice, and it's something I really hope the movie covers because they're not just a bunch of cardboard cutouts standing next to each other. They're a bunch of characters who have been written for 75 years and should be treated as such. But the nice thing is it's relatively cheap, too. You could get it for about $14.99, maybe a little bit cheaper if you find it at a certain specialty store or whatever. So it's not too pricey. And it's a fun read. You get characters like Black Canary who show up and Black Lightning, and, you have fun with this story. So, anyway, there's really not much I can say about it. Overall, the 2 issues I enjoyed were the one where the Trinity were having a meeting and Wally. If you can just find those 2 single issues, I'd recommend you just to pick those 2 up because I think you would enjoy them. And you might not understand the Trinity one, but the Wally West one is very easy to pick up. You don't even have to know what's going on in the story. You can just say the JLA are in trouble and they need Wally's help, and that's why Wonder Woman's there. Which, by the way, this story teams up Wonder Woman with Wally, and it's the best thing ever. Wally describes it as when he was a kid, he used to always see Wonder Woman as like that hot teacher that he always had a crush on. So her visiting him now is just kind of like, oh, well, hi, Wonder Woman. You know, like he has some sort of respect for her, almost like a teacher, but, you know, like a hot teacher. And I think that's kind of funny, you know, it's kind of cute because that's what Wally was, a sidekick before he became the Flash. And Wonder Woman, the way she sees him is, you know, she respects him because of his speed. She knows that he's a very powerful person to have a part of the Justice League, and it is a shame that he's not a part of it anymore for whatever reason. That isn't discussed in this story. It's just about him coming back. Honestly, that's just it with this story. It poses a great question, and it gives us the characters the way we want them, but it doesn't tie anything up. It doesn't even really set anything up. It's just kind of there. It's just random episodes to a TV show that you just randomly decide to read one day. And if you're okay with that, then I recommend reading this. If you want a solid conclusion, then this might not be for you. Maybe even just read a summary of it and you'll get everything you need out of it. Aside from that Wally issue, I'm going to be very stubborn about that. That is great. Any of you guys that are Flash fans, I think you'd love it. It just blows everything out of the water for me. So, what would I rate this story? Honestly, 6 out of 10. This is above average. I had a fun time reading it. There's a lot of flaws, too many flaws for me to really enjoy it, to really sit here and tell you guys to go out and buy it. I couldn't really recommend it to you guys. All I could really do is just say, you know what, if you're interested, check it out. If not, whatever. Yeah, I had some higher hopes. To be honest with you guys, I had planned to do this review before I even read this. And that was because I had such faith in Dwayne McDuffie. I had a lot of hype behind this book, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys a book that you probably never heard about, and yeah, bam, you know what I mean? Enjoy. It's gonna be great, an 8 out of 10 or something. But once I read it, realized what it was, I was just like, well, crap. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about it. You know, give its strengths, give its weaknesses, and see if you guys like it or not. So, sorry I couldn't pick a better book. I would have picked New Frontier, but like I said, that book, I don't even think it deserves a review because I don't know what else I could say to it. I want to make something creative for it. It's just that good. So yeah, that's my opinion, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys are going to go see the Justice League movie, and if you guys are excited. I'm so stoked. I'm also terrified. I'm definitely going to make a video that night of my initial thoughts of the Justice League movie, so you guys can see that. Are you guys scared? I'm scared. I'm terrified. You know, it's like I'm about to go through a breakup or something. You know what I mean? Maybe that's really sad to admit that this kind of stuff has that kind of effect on me, but I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. Wonder Woman really surprised me, and hopefully Justice League can do the same. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a safe November, and I hope you guys do some cool stuff. By the way, you should check out Doomsday Clock when that comes out. This is coming out November 22nd. Sorry for the shameless plug, but I am super excited for that story. I cannot wait. I'm going to do a discussion of that before it comes out, or even after. I don't know. Just had to plug that in there because it is, oh my god, I'm so excited, so excited. Anyway, if you can leave a like, comment, subscribe, that would really help the channel, and I would really appreciate that. But anyway, guys, you have a beautiful day, have a beautiful week, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.